Seriously? That's what we're going with? Well, I'm sorry you've been at college so much you didn't have any time in order to make anything good for this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Autistic Game Guy, and welcome to the biggest event I've ever had on my channel. And it's probably going to be that way for a very long time. This is the Mega Man Marathon. The marathon where I play all 11 of the classic Mega Man games in celebration for Mega Man finally coming back. I mean, the time I'm recording this and the time this episode airs is going to be a day before 11 comes out, but hey, it's close enough. Close enough. I'm going to lay down a few ground rules and restrictions to make things a little bit more interesting, because going in the same order every time just gets kind of boring. I will be playing the games in order, because duh, but the Robot Masters will be tackled in a very strange order. I'm not going in weakness order, I'm just going to fill out the random stage, but I do have some set restrictions for each game that I'll bring up when we get to each of them. Second, I'm going to try to make sure to upload on Mondays and Fridays every week. I'll leave Wednesdays as an open slot, so in case I have any other episodes for any other series that I need to finish, New Super Mario Brothers, I can get back at that pretty easily. Also, I have a cough. Oops. Yeah, allergy season. Wonderful. It's great. It's wonderful. We'll be playing the Robot Masters in a different order than I'm used to, so expect a lot of deaths. And I'm keeping track of every single one of them. I'll keep track individually for each game, and I'll tally them up as we go along for a full marathon total. I will have a few incentives for the like goal. I know I don't normally endorse using a like goal, but I think now would be a perfect time to use it. I'll be keeping track of every single like I get from the entire Mega Man Marathon. And we'll likely hit them with how many videos it's going to be. But for 20 likes, I'll play through Wily Tower in Mega Man The Wily Wars. For 40 likes, I'll play through the Game Boy games. And as a nice little bonus to you guys who really like this whole marathon, 100 likes, and I'll play through Mega Man and Bass as Mega Man. And I've never beaten the game before. I'll go in weakness order for Mega Man and Bass, because that game is the hardest one in the franchise and I'm not dealing with any pain. And by not dealing with any pain, that means I'm going to do it as little pain as possible. There will be pain. That's a guarantee. That's why the like goal is so high for my standards. But with that, let's finally get the show on the road and begin with Mega Man 1. Like I mentioned before, we're going to be going in a strange order, so I'm starting with Cutman. He's a pretty easy Robot Master with the Mega Buster, but most people don't start with him first because the normal weakness order means that Electroman's next, and you can't get the Magnet Beam without the Super Arm, or by replaying Electroman stage once you have the Thunder Beam. Neither of which are optimal when you start with Cutman anyway. But, because I'm playing the stages in a random order, for the most part, honestly, it doesn't really matter if I go to Cutman first or not. Cutman is probably the easiest Robot Master in the game, having a unique ability to be flinched by the Mega Buster. He's the only Robot Master to actually have this sort of detail, I guess? It's very strange, but you may have noticed that Cutman was the first Robot Master on the list. It was auto-selected when you started the game. I'm guessing that's because they recommend you start with Cutman because of his weakness to the Mega Buster, though it's not exactly the best for an optimal run. It's a great Robot Master in order to get your grips with Mega Man's controls. So if you're going to start anywhere for your first time, I recommend starting with Cutman if you don't mind a little bit of backtracking. I'm guessing most of you don't with how games are nowadays. You know, sometimes I wonder why Cutman's stage is all green and there's no background. I mean, sure, Cutman's supposed to be a robot built for, you know, chopping down trees, working in the lumberyard. But this doesn't look like the lumberyard at all. And there's no background of trees or anything. It's just a bunch of sky, no matter where you go. Either you like teleporting like halfway up a really tall tower. Why would a lumberyard need to be a tower in the first place? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I do like what Mega Man Powered Up did with this stage though. Mega Man Powered Up took the original 6 Robot Masters in this game, added 2 more, and changed a whole lot of details, added an intro stage and whatnot. You've probably heard of it at this point, I don't need to talk much about it. But I do like the background they used for Cutman Stage and that, because it actually looks like a lumber yard. There's trees in the background, some of the platforms are made out of actual wood. It's a nice little detail. Now, if you're wondering where I'm getting the whole, oh, these Robot Masters have these jobs. Well, 2 places. At the end of Mega Man 3, you'll get to see the BIOS for every single Robot Master from the first game. I don't understand why, but it's there, I guess. It's where it's confirmed that Cutman definitely works with lumber. Which makes a whole lot of sense. But there's also another way you can find out. I mentioned Mega Man and Bass earlier in this video as a like goal. I'm stumbling upon my words because I'm really horrible at post-commentary. But basically, you could find CDs hidden throughout the stages. And once you get a CD, you can actually look at a bio for a Robot Master from any time of the series before that. You could find stuff about the Robot Masters from the NES games, the Super Nintendo games. I think it was around the time 8 came out, so I think 8 Robot Masters were in there too. And there were also exclusive stuff from the Game Boy games in there too. So there's a lot of detail in there, like likes and dislikes, like basic bio for like what they do. Anyway, here's Cutman. His weakness is normally a super arm. See those 2 blocks there? The super arm can pick him up and launch him in the Cutman. If he gets hit with both of those blocks, he will instantly die. So he's incredibly easy in that regard too. But the Mega Buster does quick work of this guy. The only thing you really have to worry about is the rolling cutter on his head. He'll attempt to throw it at you and he throws it in your general direction. And when it turns back, it tries to go back to where Cutman is, not to where you are. So that could be a little bit awkward to get used to, but it's not too bad overall. It's a fine first boss if you don't mind some backtracking. I've mentioned this before, but I'm all for post-commentary, or just commentary in general. And thanks to the random ability of randomness, we're going to Fireman next. Yeah, Fireman. I don't like his stage. His stage is a bit strange, if you don't mind me putting it that way. There's a lot of randomness and somewhat BS moments in this stage. But I guess you're supposed to have the magnet beam to trivialize some portions. But I don't. I'm doing it legit. All I have is the Mega Buster and the Rolling Cutter. And neither of those are exactly really helpful in this stage. I don't even have Iceman's Ice Slasher, so... oh. Problem number 1 with this stage. Those fireball enemies tend to launch up from pits. If they don't snipe you when you're jumping over, they will fall down in a very randomized pattern. And if you're in a small platform, there's a lot of them in the stage, your knockback is actually bigger in this game than I think every single other Mega Man game, and it's enough to likely push you into the bottomless pit below. And checkpoints aren't exactly forgiving in Mega Man 1. I just started there, so of course I'd be back at the beginning of the stage, but sometimes the checkpoints just don't really match very well. It's kind of strange. Sometimes they do a pretty good job with the checkpoints, but other times it can be kind of a struggle. That part there is a little stupid. You have to jump over the little flame from the flamethrower because that still hurts you. But there's like no jumping room, so I think you have to get hit if you don't have the magnet beam. And that reminds me of another portion coming up later on, where It gets worse. I mentioned the magnet beam can trivialize some portions. Because there's part of this that, I know it's possible to get through without taking damage, but it's nearly impossible, I swear. I don't understand how you're supposed to do it. Stupid fireball enemies. They keep doing that. That's their gimmick. I didn't. What was I even supposed to do there? Seriously. I'm on my last life right now, I think. I'm right next to a game over. I'm gonna spoil something here, though. I only get, I think it's 2 game overs in this. I get only... Actually, I don't get any game overs in the robot match stages. Anyway, here's the part that's kind of BS. You see how fast the flames are moving? You have to walk through them. Mega Man cannot walk very fast. He has a somewhat light jog, and that's about it. He does not have a slide. That started in Mega Man 3. And there's no way to really stop the fire. I don't know if the Ice Slasher will be able to help there, but even then, it's still a really BS obstacle. So, if you're playing Mega Man for the first time, do not go for Fireman first. But if you do, there is one saving grace to Mega Buster runs. You see, Fireman is actually kind of weak against the Mega Buster. You wouldn't really think of it, because most people don't even try because of this pattern. This pattern is extremely difficult to dodge. It's possible, but I swear sometimes it's near frame perfect. You're going to be taking a lot of damage, even if you have his proper weakness. But if you're fighting him and you have full health upon going into the boss, well, you can just kind of stand there and just rapid fire. He takes damage faster than you do. His invincibility frames are a lot shorter than yours, so you can literally just tank it. It's optimal for this stage, but when you refight him in the Wily Castle, this is a very bad idea. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys on Wednesday when we continue Mega Man 1.